Konnichiwa minasan, Mako desu. I'm Mako and I'm an ALT here in Japan. And for today's video, I'm going to answer this question. Dito po sa Pinas, teacher po ba kayo or graduate po ba kayo ng eduk? Or graduate po ba kayo as an eduk? You know what, guys? One question I got asked a lot is, do I need to be an education graduate or a licensed teacher to become an ALT in Japan? The short answer is no, not necessarily. Soto wa kagirimasen. Let me tell you a little about my story. I graduated communication in the Philippines and not education. Communication, Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Masscom. Jitsu wa boku mo kyoiku gakubu shushin janai desu. Actually, I'm not an education graduate either. And honestly, if you had to talk to my college self that one day you'd be teaching in Japan, I probably would have laughed and said, "Are you sure you're talking to the right person?" Tabun, shinji nakata to omoimasu. But life happened. And you know what? My first job was actually teaching. And along the way, I just realized that I enjoyed being in the classroom, helping the students, working with students. So even though I'm not an education graduate, I decided to take education unit so I could qualify to take the licensure examination for teachers. Maybe during that time, I was just a little ambitious. Thankfully, I passed the board exam and became a licensed teacher. Now, I want to make something clear. Becoming a licensed teacher was just part of my personal journey. But it doesn't automatically mean that everyone who wants to be an ALT needs to do the same. In fact, there are many ALTs who came from different backgrounds, and not all of them are licensed teachers. But here's my point. Are you ready to listen? Nagturok. My original degree was communication, right? That is why I always tell everyone to not immediately give up on their dreams working in Japan just because they are not education graduates. だから、教育学部じゃないから無理かもって思うのはまだ早いかもしれません。So if you're thinking, I'm not an education graduate, I'm not a licensed teacher, nantoka, blah, blah, blah. Right? So maybe I'm not qualified. Right? It's early to say that. And it's too early to give up on your dreams. Wakarimashita ka? Understood? I think it's too early to give up. Akiraminai de hoshi. Do not give up. For example, based on the current qualification of Chesham Recruitment Agency for ALTs in Japan, applicants from different programs may be considered, especially if they have teaching English experience and meet the requirements. Meaning, even you are an ESL teacher, a private tutor, an English teacher in the classroom, or someone who's currently teaching English at this moment, currently teaching English, you may still have the pathway on becoming an ALT in Japan. And here's another thing that people don't know. Having a license or a PRC license in the Philippines is great. Having a TESOL, TFL, and other certification is just a plus. But remember, these are not always mandatory. Wakarimashita ka? Understood? What matters here is not just your diploma. Companies in Japan also look for your communication skills, teaching abilities, adaptability, professionalism, and willingness to learn. In my case, I actually found out that some of the things I learned in my communication degree became useful in teaching. After all, teaching is also about communicating, connecting with people, and helping students build their confidence. So if you're sitting there and thinking, I'm not an education graduate, so maybe I don't have a chance, don't make that decision for yourself before even you apply. Take time to read the qualification and see if you meet the requirements. You might be surprised that you are more than qualified than you think. Mazu, choshin shite mite kudasai yo. Why not try to give it a shot first? So if you're interested in becoming an ALT, go ahead and check the website and see if you meet the requirements. I'm Mako, and I'm an ALT here in Japan. And remember, sometimes your degree starts the story, but it doesn't have to decide how the story ends. I think what you do afterward is more important than the degree you graduated with. So ayun lang guys, thank you for watching. So if you have questions, just comment below and I will try to answer it. Mata sugino dogane. See you on my next video.